My dear children of class 8, good morning. Today we are going to start a new lesson called Tribals, Dikus and the Vision of a Golden Age. It's a brand new month, February, and we are going to start a brand new lesson called Tribals, Dikus and the Vision of a Golden Age. Children, in Hindi, tribal people are commonly called Adivasi. Okay, Adivasi, a word which is coined by the combining words. Adi means from old time. Okay, hope you heard a term Adikal, like from Adikal. Okay, and Vasi, which means inhabitant. In pre-British India, tribal people usually lived in the infertile, hilly and forested regions. They survived mainly on hunting and gathering, while some were animal herders and others practiced primitive cultivation. Okay, so in this lesson, we are going to talk about tribals, Dikus, and the vision of golden age. Okay, they in their vision, what all the agitations, processions they made, how they fought against the British. Okay, tribal means you know very well, the tribal people, they lived in the hilly and forested region, sometimes in desert. Tribal societies had their own social divisions and followed their own laws. Okay, as the name denotes, Dikus. Diku is a name given to a person who comes from outside, or he is an outsider. Okay, Dikus means outsider. Dear children, the tribals lived in areas which did not get the fruits of development. They lived in remote areas, be it hills, forests, or even deserts. These areas of their habitation could be clubbed into the areas of northeast, the jungles of the central plateau, which extended in nearly whole of Madhya Pradesh, okay, and into Chhattisgarh as well as Odisha and Jharkhand. Children, the tribals had their own religious beliefs, and they had their own religious practices that were different from those of Hinduism, Christianity, or Islam. Since they lived close to nature, they worshipped the forms of nature which they believed were more strong, and they had no control over them. They generally believed in spirits of rain. They will worship rain. The fire, okay, the tribal people, they will worship fire, and forest, even trees, river, and their ancestors. The tribals, they had their own local and village deities. In Tamil, we used to call us Gramat Devangal, and respect and pray to them. They usually worshipped the spirits of nature at sacred places within the village, and the rest were worshipped at home. Okay, children, the Adivasis had their own languages. Those languages were different from the mainstream. Some of them were as old as Sanskrit, very old, ancient. Majority of the tribes live in the central India, and the majority of them spoke Santali. Santali is their language. Santali. Santali. Okay, it's a very old. Majority of the tribal people lived in the central India, and majority of them they spoke Santali. Okay, so occupations of tribals. Herding, okay, you know very well, the animal herders were mainly the one Gujars, VAN1 Gujars. It's a community, okay, GUGGARS, one Gujars, Bakarwals and Gaddis, Bakarwals, BAKARWALs, Bakarwals and Gaddis, GADDIS, Gaddis of northern and northwestern India. They usually reared sheep and goats and sometimes camels also. Okay, some tribals earned through hunting, fishing, collecting forest products, and practicing zoom or shifting cultivation. Okay, the other name for zoom cultivation is shifting cultivation. that according to the British people, they maintained collected records. Okay, already we discussed in our previous history chapters. According to an official British report from the 1830s, the Baigas, B-A-I-G-A-S, Baigas of central India were one such tribe who are nomads. Nomads means they will move from place to place and hunted deer, hares, birds, etc. They also bamboo baskets and collected honey and other jungle produce like wild roots and fruits. The hunting tools they carried were bows and poison arrows. Okay, in many, you have watched in many movies, the tip of an arrow, they will apply some poisonous materials. Okay, poison arrows. They fished in rivers using either a bamboo mesh. It's also called zoomer. Okay, J-U-M-E-R, zoomer, or a line with a hook. And sometimes they dammed a stream to trap fish. The line with the hook means like thundil in Tamil, and to trap fish. Okay. Then the Adivashis, tribal people, they extracted oils from the seeds of sal tree, sal tree, and mahua from mahua tree. They obtained honey, okay, and used them for cooking. They used many forest shrubs and herbs for medicinal purpose and solid forest produce in local markets. Okay, they practice shifting cultivation that you will study in your geography lessons. Okay, that's the name is agriculture, I think. Shifting cultivation was practiced by many tribes. They burned down vegetation to clear plots of land in the forest. And after harvesting the crop, they shifted to another part of the forest. Okay, that is called shifting cultivation. That you will study detail in your geography lesson. Okay. That zoom cultivation is also called shifting cultivation. Zoom, zoom was done on small patches of land, mostly in forest. The cultivators, they will cut the tree top to allow sunlight to reach the ground. Then they burnt the vegetation on the land to clear it for cultivation. They spread the ash to fertilize soil as it contained potash. Okay. They scattered the seeds on the field instead of plowing the land and sowing the seeds. When the crop was ready and harvested, they moved to another field that had been cultivated once but was left fallow for several years for restoring soil fertility. Okay, here it's a new term fallow. Okay, F-A-L-L-O-W. Fallow land means uncultivated land. Okay. They prepared a plot for cutting down the vegetation first and then burning it on site. Okay, the seeds were sown in the ashes which were spread evenly over the plot. This plowing was avoided by the Baigas. Baigas is a tribal group and it was not encouraged by their customs. A plot was usually cultivated for 3 successive seasons. Okay, and then abandoned they will leave as it is for about 10 years. They will not cultivate anything. Okay, that is called shifting cultivation, shifting or zoom cultivation. Okay, children, some tribals settled down permanently on the land. They cleared and cultivated. Among them were Mundas of Chota Nagpur. Their land belonged to the entire clan and they regarded themselves as the descendants of those who had originally cleared these lands for forest. Okay. Then tribals often traded handmade goods, forest produce and animal products for goods that were not readily available to them like rice, salt and cloth. Sometimes they sold their goods to procure money for buying the things that they needed. Children, for example, some Baigas sold baskets of forest products like honey. Some tribals occasionally worked as agricultural laborers or coolies. Coolies means porters. Okay, children, here we are going to discuss about the discuss about how did colonial rule affect tribal lives. Okay, that is tribal life under British rule. As you know, as British colonial rule expanded, several tribal areas came under its influence. British officials, missionaries, planters, moneylenders, Tikadas, T-H-I-K-A-D-A-R-S, Tikadas means contractors, and Zamindars entered the tribal areas in large numbers. This created several problems. The first one is loss of power. In the pre-British era, the tribal chiefs had the power to frame the laws for managing their tribes, land and forests, while some also had the power to collect taxes. Okay, the Bill chiefs, Bill is one tribal group. Okay, the Bill chiefs of southern Gujarat, for example, collected land tax from the peasants. Bills and lay down forest laws. They also allowed Banjaras. Banjaras is another tribal group to graze cattle on their land. The merchants of the neighboring towns bought forest goods including timber, mahua flowers for making liquor. They used to make some preparation was there. They will prepare some, they will ferment and they will make some liquor. And mahua honey they will make, then bamboo and other goods from the Bill chief. The Maratha rulers paid tax to the Bill chiefs. Some amount they paid in order to prevent Bill raids on their territories. Okay, Hak means that it's called kappam katras. Okay, that is called, they paid, they have given some amount. Maratha rulers, they have given some amount to the Bill chiefs to in order to prevent their raids on their territories. Okay, and understand, children? Okay, the British tried and subjugated the Bills, as the Bill territory had some hostile terrain, okay, uneven terrain, and the British decided not to annex it. Okay, instead they recognized the Bill chiefs as rulers because they accepted British paramountcy. The Bill chiefs were made answerable to a British Bill agent for many things such as the maintenance of law and order. Gradually, the chiefs lost their traditional forest rights. The chiefs of many Indian tribes made the same fate as the Bill chiefs. Okay. The second one is loss of livelihood. British extended land revenue settlements to the tribal lands. Okay, in your previous chapter, you studied about the land revenue and other settlements. So, the British people, they extended land revenue settlements to the tribal lands, and taxes were imposed on goods produced by the tribal people. Okay, for honey, for making herbs, shrubs, everything. They herbal medicine, everything. They impose some taxes on the on goods produced by tribals. Their need for cash to make payments forced the tribal people to go to the moneylender for acquiring loans at high rates of interest. Okay, children, when they could not repay the loans, the moneylenders in turn they took away their cattle, carts, and sometimes lands. Okay, so they lost their livelihood. Okay. Many tribals became agricultural laborers on their own lands. It's a pathetic thing. Many tribals became agricultural laborers on their own lands, which many were forced in the bet begari. That means, it's a Hindi term. Bet begari means labor without pay. Okay, the suitable tribal lands were converted into plantations by the planters. This caused the resident tribals to be displaced from their native, that is their abodes, and they depend on their they depend others on their traditional livelihood. Okay, so what all the oppressions had happened? Oppression of forest tribes. By the mid 19th century, the British took over huge tracts of forest. because they needed large supplies of timber or wood for shipbuilding and for making sleepers for railway tracks. Okay, ask your grandparents what are the sleepers, the wooden sleepers for railway tracks. So they regarded shifting cultivation as a wasteful practice. Okay, as it destroyed forest timber. Also, as the shifting cultivators did not settle down permanently, revenue settlements could not be made with them. This deprived the British of valuable land revenues. Okay, therefore, the British promoted settled agriculture and tried to end shifting cultivation. The British people, they enacted some forest laws. Imposed some forest laws which marked out certain forests as reserved areas. Okay, that is a prohibited areas. Only government officials can visit those areas. The tribal residents in these forests were prohibited from practicing shifting cultivation and using forest produce. So that means it's taken away their means of livelihood. Can you understand? Okay, the British used the tribals as cheap labor for various tasks. For instance, they hired Baigas as forest guards and fire watchers, and other tribals for cutting and transporting wood. Okay, can you understand? Some tribals, like those of the northeastern hills of India, rebelled. They fought against the reservation of forest. The protests gradually became very strong. In the early 20th century, Sonaram Sangma of the Garo tribe, okay, Garo hills in northeast, Garo tribes, organized a protest. After which the British had to declare some areas as unclassed forest, shifting cultivation was allowed. Next, children, the forest people, such as the people who grew silkworm cocoons in Jharkhand, were exploited by middlemen called dalals. Okay, dalals they are like contractors or agents. The dalals were agents who bought forest produce at very low rates, and they made huge profits by supplying it to traders. Sometimes the tribals, such as the Baigas who carried forest output to the market, were exploited by the British officials who carried away their produce without paying. Okay. Children, in Chota Nagpur, tribal people were employed in large numbers to extract coal from the mines from the region. They were given very low salaries and they had to work under miserable conditions. Okay. So, children, let us discuss about the tribal revolts. Because tribals faced oppression throughout the British rule, while some of the oppressed tribals shifted to other regions, some other took to robbery. Okay, some tribes rose in revolt. What are all the tribal revolts had happened, that we will discuss in our next part. Thank you. Have a nice day.